Right, so nitrosamine is the evergreen topic of the discussion in pharmaceutical industry and much have been discussed and talked about it so far. We talked about the control strategies, method development, method validation, the requirement sensitivities for the quantification of various nitrosamines. But let us talk about, how one can decide on the testing of nitrosamine into your product. It can be a routine testing or skip testing or the omission testing at all. So in this presentation, we are going to discuss about the testing need of nitrosamine into your product. So let us begin with the presentation and here it is. So let us first understand how one can conclude whether there is a need of testing first, and there are three important steps to understand it. The step number one is the risk assessment. So you need to assess the possibility, the risk of formation of nitrosamine into your product. It can be the raw materials, it can be about the processes, it can be about the stability study of the product. So whether there is a risk of formation of nitrosamine, if the answer to this question is yes, then probably you have to go for the confirmatory testing. You need to develop a method, validate the method, and then test your product for the content of nitrosamine. And in case if you found that yes, there is a nitrosamine impurity present into your product, then you have to go to the step number three, which is the mitigation strategy. So you need to reduce and prevent the possibility of formation of nitrosamine into your product, right? So by this three-step process you will be able to conclude whether you need to have the nitrosamine testing for your product or not, right? But let us first understand, in case if it is required, what is the strategy you can adopt as per the FDA on the routine testing of nitrosamine? Do or can we skip the testing of nitrosamine for few batches, or can you completely omit the nitrosamine parameters from your specification? So I am going to walk you through the recommendations provided by these five regulatory bodies: FDA, EMA, ANVISA, Swissmedic, and the Health Canada. So let us begin our discussion with the first one, that is the FDA. So what FDA talks about the requirement of the routine testing. Now you have done the confirmatory test, and if you found that the content of the nitrosamine is more than the LOQ of your analytical method, in that case you need to test all the batches. You need to test all the batches for the nitrosamine, right? And if you go back to the understanding, what is the necessity of the LOQ as per as FDA is concerned, your LOQ should be less than or equal to 0.03 ppm. So in another term, in case if the content of nitrosamine is up to 0.03 ppm, you need to test all the batches for on routinely for the content of nitrosamine. I hope you are clear on to the routine testing need as per as FDA is concerned. So what FDA talks about the skip testing. So if you look at the nitrosamine guidance or even the general chapter 1469 onto the nitrosamine testing, it has not given any guidance onto the skip testing or even onto the omission of the testing, right? So the FDA is silent onto the skip testing and the omission testing. Routine testing is very much clear. So if the content is more than LOQ, you have to test the product. You have to test all the batches for the content of nitrosamine. The second, EMA. What EMA talks about the routine testing, skip testing, and the omission testing. Now, EMA and NVISA has given the very clear guidance onto all these three testing part. So in case if the content is greater than 30 percentage of the acceptable intake, now there is acceptable intake for individual nitrosamine impurity. For example, the AI for NDMA is 96 nanogram per day. So what is the 30 percentage of 96 nanogram per day in case of NDMA? Calculate that. And if the content is more than 30 percentage of the acceptable intake, then you need to test every batch for the content of NDMA or any another nitrosamine. I hope you are clear on to the routine testing, right? The skip testing, if the content is equal to or less than 30 percentage of your acceptable intake, in that case you need not to test all the batches, but you can adopt the suitable skip testing approach, right? In case of the EMA. And the omission of testing, in what circumstances you can completely omit, remove the nitrosamine from your specification, and here it is, if the content is less than or equal to 10 percentage of the acceptable intake, in that case you need not to test the product as per as the EMA is concerned, right? So this is the guidance given by EMA. The third one is the Anvisa Brazil. So what the guidance talks, the first one is routine testing, right? And in case of, if the content of nitrosamine is greater than 10 percentage of the acceptable intake, very low, right? You need to test every batch for the content of nitrosamine in case if you are going for the Brazil. Skip testing, no guidance provided, but in case of omission of testing, if the content, the guidance as per Envisa is what? If the content is less than or equal to 10%, then you can omit the nitrosamine testing, right? Less than or equal to 10 percentage of the acceptable intake, in that case you will be able to omit the testing of nitrosamine from your analysis, right? This is the Envisa guideline. The Swiss Medic routine testing, if the content is greater than LOQ, right, absolutely you have to test every batch for the nitrosamine testing. And in case of skip testing and omission of testing, Swiss Medic has not provided any kind of guidance, right? So it is silent on to these two different testings. The last one is the Health Canada. What Health Canada speaks about, routine testing is required if the content is more than 30 percentage of the acceptable intake, right, of your nitrosamine impurity. It is silent on the skip testing as well as the omission of the testing. I hope that this small presentation will help you out in understanding whether you need to go for first confirmatory testing, then whether you need to have the proper mitigation strategy to reduce or completely prevent the formation of nitrosamine, then what is the guidance provided by different regulators onto the routine testing, skip testing, and finally the omission testing. I hope this video will help you out. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I will meet you soon with such kind of useful and informative video. Till then, take care and bye bye. See you soon.